Welcome guys. I've got a product unboxing video that you're going to want to see. I'm Bobby G, and let's get right into this unboxing. Today we're going to have a look at the RedSea ReefMat 500, and we'll have a look at how it's packaged, and we'll talk about its features and how easy it is to use and install. Now, although today I won't be installing it, but I am going to unbox it and explain everything to you. So let's talk. Here we go. Beautiful box. Graphics and everything are really spectacular on it, which in terms of sales is very important. But here we have the outer of the box, and I can explain what it says if so we got the ReefMat 500 and a great illustration of it. The items listed on the outside here are the fleece mat, the sump wall hang-on bracket, the filter chamber, the media basket underneath here, the water outlet, which I can explain how that flows through when I get the product out of the box. But the water outlet, it does come down through the bottom. We have the fleece mat retainer and the water inlet or outlet, depending on which side you're going to have your inlet on. Your dual level sensor and your smart drive unit. So let's, and then on this side of the box here, basically, it gives a few more descriptive parameters and explanation. So they call this the Smart Plug-and-Play Efficient. And the features are plug-and-play installation with multiple setup options, easy fleece mat replacement system, efficient high-low skimmer friendly, non-woven polyester fleece mat rolls, smart drive unit connected to the ReefBeat ecosystem, and solid state internal and external water level sensor, integrated media basket for additional chemical filtration, kink resistant corrugated inlet hose with a USA metric PVC connector. And it does note here that it's only suitable for seawater aquariums, meaning it's not meant for freshwater. I can't see really a purpose of using this on a freshwater aquarium, although it would be kind of fun to try if you had an aquarium with an overflow, but it really wouldn't be necessary. Over here, this is the English portion up top here. The rest is in other languages. We have a comparison between the ReefMat 500 and the ReefMat 1200. There is a smaller unit, but it's not compared on the back of this box. The max flow of the 500 is 6,000 liters or 1,580 gallons per hour, as compared to the ReefMat 1200, which is 9,000 liters or 2,380 gallons per hour. The ReefMat 500 is recommended for aquariums of 500 liters to 130 or 130 gallons up to, and the ReefMat 1200 is for systems up to 1,200 liters or 315 gallons. The fleece mat width of each respective roller is the 500 is 11.3 centimeters or 4.4 inches wide, and the ReefMat 1200 is 17 centimeters or 6.7 inches wide. The fleece mat length on the 500 is 28 meters or 92 feet, and the ReefMat 1200 is 35 meters or 115 feet. And the media basket on the 500 is 350 milliliters, and the ReefMat 1200 is 700 milliliters. So there's the comparison. Also, the dimensions are listed here. I can give those in inches. Well, it's there in metric as well, but I think we'll just do the inches. So the ReefMat 500 is 8.3 inches by 10.6 inches by 16.5 inches. And the ReefMat 1200 is 10.6 inches by 11.8 inches by 18.9 inches. So there's pretty much all of the data that's on the exterior of the box. And so with no further waiting, let's have a look at what's inside the box. I always try to open things really neatly. It's just the way that I do things. So we'll just take our time. I don't have an overhead camera set up, so we'll just take things out one at a time here. And there we go. I'll make sure this is spun in the English facing on the box. This is obviously our power pack for it. And you can see it comes with everything needed to plug this in. Really long cable on this, and then your actual plug right here. So that's that part of it. Set that down there. And then inside, everything is packed really, really well. I can show you a top view right there. It's very well secured in here. And then again, looking down inside, we can see the whole unit sitting right there and the hose. So let's pull that out and see what we've got. So let me set this on here. This is the ReefMat unit, obviously. And then also inside we have the corrugated hose. This would be the inlet actually for the ReefMat, whether we use this side or this side. This side just currently has a cap on it, but it can be switched over to the other side. We also have in the box a package with legs in the event that you don't want to use this hang-on bracket. You can set it on legs, so that could be handy for some guys. Now we also have the outlet fittings that would go on your plumbing in your in either your RedSea tank or any tank with an overflow, obviously. And it's got all the fittings in there that are necessary to hook that up. We also have the water sensor, which in fact goes right in here, but I'll show you where that goes and how it sits. And then we have one more box, which would be the drive unit. That's the power, where the power comes into the, from the power box to this drive unit. And then also it has a connector to the water sensor. And so again, excuse me, again, this could be mounted on either side. Depending on what's best in your application, it can be mounted on either side. So that's really handy that they've done that. And then in here, in the box, is the clip that goes on the inside to secure it. It's very, very simple to install that. So I think this is packaged up really, really well. It would be virtually impossible to damage it during shipping, I would say. And of course, also it comes with the user manual. So we have one running on this tank right now, and that's why I'm somewhat familiar with the use of it. But I can set these things down right here, and we can have a look at, we can take apart what's already on this unit. You can see here, this in fact is the take-up roll to take up that fleece mat, and this is where we would load that mat on this front. And so the way you do this is you simply pull this up, which drops this down, and it releases the front roller. So we can set that there. Also, I'll show you the front roller. Each end of it unscrews like so, and this centering cone, I'm going to call it, centers the fleece roller, and then this is where we're able to, it does come with one roller as well, of course, and this is where we would slide this on. This roller actually sits right down in here, and it keeps the roll tight to the outside of this chamber down below here. And inside here we also have the media basket, which, just unpack it here quickly. So the media basket, you could put any media you wanted in it. Something to control phosphates. You could put carbon in here. Literally anything that you would like. Now, you can see I'm a little bit challenged on how this pops open, but let's leave that for now because I'm not being very successful at popping it open. Maybe you need a tool like a screwdriver to pop it out of these grooves right here. But I'm sure it's not impossible, like I'm making it look like it is right now. Then down in below, it might be nice for you to be able to see in below here, we can set these items right up here. So they're handy for us again. This one also, it comes out of there by just rolling those forward and pulling it straight out. This is the take-up roll, and it does come apart for, you know, if you need to, when you need to remove the used up roll, or you can also take it apart if you find it's easier to install a new fleece roll in it. But I'll go over that in just a second. Set these parts up here. And then looking down in the bottom, I think you'll be able to see there now. This part right here, that basket comes right out. And the way it does is we rotate the center of it like so to unlock it. And then it just comes straight out. Get my finger out of the way there. Now, one thing I want to point out, if you look at this, in its locked position, which would be here, you can see the water would either be coming in one side or the other, and then it's forced, the water is forced down through these grates right here, and forced down through the bottom of this. And then the fleece mat is run down through here. So the water is forced through the fleece mat. The water can't go anywhere but through it. Also, when we look on the inside, as this mat gets filled with dirt, detritus, whatever it's collecting, the water is forced to go through either here or here, and then as the water level in this chamber raises, it reaches the water sensor, which causes the drive unit to roll a new set of fleece in there, which you can set all the parameters in terms of how many inches or centimeters you want it to roll each time, and to find your best efficiency to make the fleece roll last as long as possible. So it's really pretty user friendly, I would say. We can start assembling it back together. I suppose we could show you. I don't know if there's really any point in showing you mounting the drive unit itself, although it is very easy. Where did I put the drive unit? Oh yeah, down here. Sorry. I kind of lost place where I put the drive unit. But it would mount right on here, assuming this is the side that we would be mounted on. Otherwise, we would take this cover plate out here, put that cover plate on the other side, and mount the drive unit on that side. So for now, for simplicity, we'll just snap it in place here. Very, very easy to do. The water level never reaches up this high, so even if it did reach that high, it's still only overflowing into your sump, so it's not making a mess on your floor. So we've got that in place, and then the next thing that we need to do, I'll spin it back around this way so that you can maybe better see what's going on from this end into here. We would open the fleece roll. Now every fleece roll comes with a diagrams on how to the steps on how to get that new roll in place. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9. So if you feel like you might have forgotten from last time, you don't ever really have to remember because the instructions are right there. And we can, I always find that the wrapping material on this is, you'll need scissors. It's very hard to just rip it on your own. So we'll keep that just so that we can have a look at it while I'm installing the roll. And what we need to do is we will grab this, and it doesn't matter which end goes where because they're identical. It's a symmetrical drive. And then don't forget to put this piece in. Oh, it looks like I was just going to forget, but I wasn't. And then we would just simply tighten this up so that it's a bit snug. It doesn't have to be very tight, just so you can feel it tighten up against the edge of the roll. Right there. Excuse me. And we can drop that in, but in general you'll have this in there already, so I may as well put that in. That just snaps down in place. And then when we put this roll in, both rolls either feed from or receive from the outside. So we would drop this in there like so. Just like so. And then this drive is more so of a free floating. It's not driven by the wheels. And so we'll just pull out a whole bunch here because we know it needs to go down to the bottom there. And we'll keep in mind that we can always roll this back up to take up the slack if we have any. Then on this piece, because we know this is going to be, and this is also symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way we use it. Both pieces are identical. As you can see, This one has a gear here to be driven, and so does this one. They're both identical, so it doesn't matter which side you use. Now, because this is easy, because I've got the other, it hasn't been used, so there hasn't been a used roll on it. So I'll just snug that back up. And what we'll do here is we'll bring this up through. We'll try to anyways. Always works better when you're not on camera. But we'll just slide this up and through here. We'll bring this out about 4 or 5 inches. We know it's going to be rolling this way, so we want it to tighten on itself. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call, but we'll just let that go past. So there you have it. I've got it rolled about 3 times on itself there, and we can slide this down in, and we'll lock it in position. So far you can see down inside, and you can see that we've got that fleece mat roll in position, and we can lock it just like that. Now, further, we're going to have a look and go, oh, Bobby G, one of these has to come out to facilitate me being able to put this down in. So that's no problem. Just roll these forward, take this back out, and this just goes down inside. Make sure that both ends are open. This can go back down in, and I'll just let it sit there for a minute so I can free up my hands again. Put this back in place, and then I can reach down in here, and I can, it needs to be unlocked so I can set it down in properly. No, I'm sorry, I've made a mistake apparently. In fact, what needs to happen here is this has to go on here like so, and then we can clip it in place. So this would go like so, like, and snap in place there. Let me just see here how this works best. I'm trying to do this with no reading, you know. So that can go like that. Yeah, so I'm right. If we just slide this here and then we pull it through, then it's snapped in place. Okay, so sorry, I missed that. I missed that critical step. Now we can drop it down in, and I can once again drop this in place. I don't want to roll it more. I don't want to waste any more roll than I have to in loading it. We can take up the slack by spinning this. And you can see that's being taken up inside there. And then I can reach my hand down in. And so you can see it a little bit easier. I'm just going to rotate that around until it stops. And now you'll see I can't pull that back out. And those outlet, the outlet grill side of that is pointing down. So basically, what we have is the unit already loaded with a new fleece mat, and it's ready to run. All right, so the last thing I can show you is how to mount the sensor. And that's fairly easy to do as long as you understand which way it goes. Now, let me just show you how to decide that. So there's a sensor set that go inside the encasing, and a sensor set that goes on the outside that you can hopefully see right there, inside and outside. And then This small groove here is meant to sit underneath this right here so it can't come up. So let me show you. You've got to start it in the center, slide it along till it gets to this point where you can push that down onto here, which then allows you to slide it forward underneath that. So now it can't come up and it can't come off. And then we just have to choose. This goes on just like this. And then we'll tighten this up, push that in, tighten it, and then we'll just till it's snug there, and then a quarter of a turn. Now, that won't get any moisture in it because it does have an O-ring sealing it, and the ReefMat is ready to run now, with the exception of the inlet hose on it. So I think these are fabulous units. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Of course, we sell all the reef mats at Pro Aquarium by Bobby G, and we look forward to seeing you in. If you've enjoyed the video, please like it and share it. Hit the bell so that you can get notifications of our newest videos coming out, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. Thank you.